We're going to begin with this. SpaceX, their Falcon 9 rocket is at Kennedy Space Center in Florida this morning, gearing up for a very historic launch. Why? This Inspiration4 mission is scheduled to begin tomorrow, taking the first all-civilian crew on a 3-day flight into space. Now, their orbit will be farther away from Earth than the International Space Station. The mission will also raise funds for St. Jude's Children's Research Hospital there in Memphis. Hayley Arceneaux, remember that name, she is a physician assistant there, and she is one of the crew members. In our series Note to Self, the 29-year-old Louisiana native writes about her resilience of the face of struggle and how she earned her place on this very special mission.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Dear Hayley, you are in for such a wild ride.
Ignition.
Literally.
Liftoff of the Falcon 9 and Crew Dragon.
You are going on a rocket ship to space.
Go SpaceX, Godspeed.
Outer space. And the whole world will be watching. Never in my wildest dreams did I think I'd be telling you this.
Vehicles pitching downrange.
I know, it's our little brother Hayden, who has been in love with all things space since he was 6 years old, and Mom and Dad took us to visit NASA in Houston. Remember we took pictures that made it look like we were floating in the air? Who would have ever thought you'd be training to actually float in air, to really go to space? And I couldn't be more excited. Of course Hayden grew up to be an aerospace engineer, but now you are the one going into orbit, around Earth for 3 days, and going farther into space than any human has gone in over a dozen years.
Dragon, separation confirmed.
I'm sure you're wondering how all this came to be. Well, here's the thing. Right after the trip the whole family took to NASA, you get sick. Really sick. At 10, you'll be diagnosed with bone cancer and go to St. Jude Children's Research Hospital in Memphis, where they will save your life.
My disease is called osteosarcoma. It's very serious.
The chemo will be intense. You'll lose your hair, but it grows back and better than ever. The surgeries are very difficult. You'll get a prosthesis in your leg that enables you to walk and dance, but not jump or run. You hate the scars at first, but later you'll be proud of them and own the fact that you look cute in shorts. Physical therapy seems never ending, a total of 5 years of it. You can't do some things you think will be important. But I promise it all gets better. And you can actually do things you never thought possible. Having cancer makes you who you are, and you become stronger for it. I tell the same thing to my patients today.
Sit up.
Patients? Yes, your patients. You will grow up to become a physician assistant at St. Jude. The bone cancer diagnosis is so scary, but St. Jude becomes home. You make friends with the doctors and nurses. Some are even coming to see your space launch. And you find hope there. You want to share that hope with other kids going through the same thing. You will tell anyone who will listen, I'm going to work here one day. And they believe it too, because you've always been determined and strong-willed.
A cancer survivor will be one of the first private citizens in the country to rocket to outer space.
St. Jude is actually the reason you're going to space. You are chosen for the Hope Seat of the Inspiration4 mission, going out further than the International Space Station. This historic first all-civilian mission to space is raising hundreds of millions of dollars for St. Jude.
Hayley Arceneaux will serve as the crew's medical officer.
And you're going into space as the youngest American, the first pediatric cancer survivor, and the first person with an internal prosthesis. You are going to space to show other kids like you what they are capable of. You didn't just survive. You have persevered and thrived. And having cancer gives you such a love and zest for life, and a confidence to say yes to opportunities that could change your life, even if they are scary.
Dragon SpaceX on the big loop.
And Hayley, just so you know, it's okay to be scared. When St. Jude invited me to go to space, my hands were shaking, but I knew it would be a once-in-a-lifetime experience, that it would help others, and that I'd grow and learn so much. Just like when I did a semester by myself in Spain. I went there not knowing anybody, but I said yes, and my life was so much better for it. Training for space is rigorous, modeled after NASA astronaut training with centrifuge, hypoxia, zero gravity, and water survival training exercises. You'll even climb a mountain, which you dreaded the most but turned out to be the most rewarding. You can't predict life. And for some people that's a negative, but I think of it as a positive. Maybe it's because of what I've gone through, what we've gone through. There are a few important things I've learned that I'd like to share. First, to hold on to hope always, because there will be brighter days. Also, happiness is a choice, and it's worth choosing. There's no telling what will come next, but I'm sure enjoying the ride. Love, Hayley, soon to be over 500 kilometers in space.
Wow.
Hayley Arceneaux.
How about that? What a triumph of a life.
Yes.
I am
Love
scared.
her.
I couldn't do it.
Me
but
neither.
When you beat cancer, it creates a fearlessness.
Yeah.
So her strength is the reason why she isn't scared to go into space.
She says cancer made her who she is, but I think actually it's her triumph over it that made her who she is and gave her that fearlessness.
I like hold on to hope always. I so believe that, Hayley. Happiness is always a choice. I also believe that. But shout out to Hayley and shout out to the other three. Jared Isaacman, he's a billionaire entrepreneur, commander of the flight. Sine Proctor, a geology professor. I love the variety of this crew. Former astronaut candidate, and Christopher Zimbrowski, who's a data engineer. Bravo, bravo. And they all lift off tomorrow. We should also say a special thank you to Kira Cleveland. Kira Cleveland,
her final piece.
producer for us.
Yeah.
This is her final piece. Way to go out on a bang, Kira Cleveland.
Well,
She's
we're going to
one of the
miss you,
best.
Kira. We're going to miss you.
After this big loop, I wonder how many times they're going to do this. Will it happen more often?
Not enough to get
Are we
us
good?
on
We're going to
there.
do the show from space?
I would actually do it. I think
Nate,
you two would not.
I think you would.
I would.
I
ready for
definitely
it.
would not.
Even though I'm
would
afraid of heights.